How I overcame my porn addiction. I'm going to be telling you the full story of how all this went down for myself because I was a total freaking addict. Like bad, down bad motherfucker type shit. And it fucked me up big time. I went into a big ass depression, and I've had times too where I was off it and then I was on it. I would just be so locked in, and then there were times where it just came back, and it came back so much fucking harder. So I'm just gonna give the full story of how I started and then how I was able to finally overcome this addiction for good. So first off, I've been doing this shit, was at the time, since I was like 12 years old. Like, I found some shit on YouTube and I just started doing it just from there on out, which is fucking crazy to think about at such a young age, that addiction started to develop and my brain started to think in that way when it came to women especially, and started to build that bad habit for myself. So it only made it worse as I started to get older, and just my brain being like, ooh, need that fix, need that fucking fix. So what I did at that time was, for years, I was fucking on that shit. This is way before I was even on and off. So through high school, I was really like just fucked up in the sense of very antisocial, very purpose driven at the time, but I kind of used that at the time to use it as a excuse to even talk to women for the most part. I also developed erectile dysfunction from it as well, because I remember in high school I had my girlfriend at the time, and many times I couldn't even get it up when we were fooling around and whatnot. So you know, it made me feel just as a man, not as a man, like for real. Like, I just felt like a little bitch at the time. And it was because I was just fucking doing that shit all fucking day, and I had nothing in the tank and no confidence whatsoever in general. And then plus that on top of it, at the time, it was just fucking me up in all senses, because I saw women especially as just objects. I saw just life in a whole different perspective, like a very negative sense. When I would just go to that to use as a vice. That's basically what I was using it for. So throughout high school, that's how it was for myself. And then I started to overcome it when I was around 20 years old. So the first get around was I had purpose, right? But I was using it as a distraction. Like I said, that's why I'm telling this story. The second time around, so this is now when I'm getting on and off it, right? So I start to go off. I go on a crazy ass fucking like 200-day plus streak of not touching myself, all that shit. And this was like a big fucking gap in my life where I was able to be like, holy fuck, I can actually do this. Because all my life, when I was like 12 to 19, almost 20 years old, I was doing that shit probably 2-3 times fucking once every day, 3 to 4 bro, like just crazy numbers, like a week, days, and just repeatedly. Like, it just didn't matter. If I just felt like fucking doing it, I was just doing it, right? So, and it fucked me up. Like, I had really bad confidence. I had no confidence whatsoever. I felt very insecure. It just felt like shit too. Like, that's what it does to you, and you just don't feel like a man. You feel like hopeless. You feel very weak, and it's your life force at the end of the day, and just spewing it all over a toilet seat. That's what it was doing to me. I was doing it all over a toilet seat, and I was like, fuck this. So then I found purpose when I was around 20 years old. I started doing TikToks, so I had purpose, right? I was trying to focus on my vision. I knew where I was going. I knew what I wanted to do, right? It started all come together. I'm doing it, and then shit hits the fan. So this is the first get around of this, right? So I go back, and then I'm like, fuck. And then it just, I'm like, what the fuck, yo? Like, I had so much momentum, and then I chose to stop the momentum. So that's with the addiction, how you have to think about it. When you're building up and you're not focusing on those things, you have to cut it out completely. And when you start to cut it out completely, you're going to start to see signs of success when you cut that shit out, right? So if you start to see success, why are you going to go back to your old ways? Don't let your mind trick you, right? So that's what my mind was doing at this time when I went on this 200-day streak, and then I crashed. So the problem is that I wasn't seeing the results that I was with my TikTok, with my business and whatnot. So I felt comfortable, right? So I chose comfort over growth. And what ended up happening was I lost a whole fucking tons of momentum. Everything went fucking south. So with overcoming my addiction, the next turnaround, like when I stopped, was remembering that. To remember that I have the capability to keep my momentum going every single day off of the actions, choices, and thoughts that I have either dictate if I'm gonna lose all this momentum that I have right now, or it's gonna fucking crash if I do these actions. So that's how I think about it every single day. So as a porn addict, like I still have the thoughts even just to this day. Like literally even just before this video, I fucking was getting aroused, right? Like there was some shit on TikTok and I was like, fuck, I can't watch this, like swipe. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. It's gonna happen every single day, and it's test after test after test. So that's all it is. It's always overcoming this shit. So you have to be able to self-master yourself in all ways. So when you use certain substances, low vibrational shit, that's only gonna make this porn addiction even worse for yourself. So if you're drinking right now, if you're using drugs, it's those same vibrations that porn does as well. So it's only gonna attach to that. So if you're drinking on a Friday night and then you go watch porn, like that's because you were drinking, right? And you're addicted to porn on top of that. It's only feeding the vice and pain that you're in even more and making yourself fucking worse. So what do? Just cut all that shit out. Because once I cut everything out, anything that was negative, anything at all, that's where I really started to see the results for myself. And then I start to see the success. And then again, it's up to me to choose that momentum that I built for myself. All of that success. If I start to do these bullshit fucking low vibrational shit, the porn, drinking, all that shit, it's only gonna bring me down. It's only gonna bring my life down because we choose, again, that momentum to keep going off of our baseline. Our baseline, basically, mine is different compared to yours right now, based off the actions, choices, and decisions that you're doing on a daily basis. So mine is going up based off the shit that I'm doing every single day. There's a checklist, and then most likely if you're watching this video, you're addicted to porn, so that shit is going down. Right? So it's decreasing every single day because of the actions and choices that you're making. So you have to think of the baseline. Think of constantly leveling up as a man. What is a man that is constantly leveling up not doing? He's not watching porn. He's not doing these low vibrational shit. So that's another thing that I do to make sure, okay, am I in alignment? Alignment is everything. So if I don't know, if I start to think that way, then I know, hey, like, bro, is that 10.0 Nick thinking that way? Is he acting in this sense? Is he hanging around strippers? Like, is he going to prostitutes, like, for sex? Like, is he doing these low vibrational things? That's not what, the $1 million Nick, multi-million-dollar fucking Nick is doing. Like, no. Like, he's with a genuine, high-value woman that respects him, takes care of him, his wife, loves him, wants the best for him, gym rat, fucking girl, like all these things, you know what I'm saying? If that doesn't cross my mind, then I know something's up. So I have to constantly remember myself of that too, because what I'm working towards right now is that perfect woman for myself in all aspects. But imperfection, of course, to a certain extent, but perfect in my sense, in my eyes, my vision for myself. So that's what I'm saying. So if it doesn't align with it, then don't fucking do it, right? That's basically another thing that I do as well. So that's the video for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Love you guys. And this is how I beat my fucking porn addiction. It's fucking easy once you start to gain momentum. It's just about not doing the things that when you get to that certain point, just don't fucking do them again. That's it. Don't get comfortable either. That's it. Love you guys. Peace out.